Imagine a world where your smartphone, your car, and even your fridge rely on technology so advanced it seems almost magical. At the heart of this magic is the semiconductor, a tiny chip with the power to change the world. And the secret to crafting these tiny marvels? Computational lithography. But what exactly is computational lithography? It is a sophisticated field that combines optics, chemistry, physics, mathematics, and computer science to refine the semiconductor manufacturing process. This process, known as photolithography, is crucial for creating intricate circuits on semiconductor chips. As we push the boundaries of technology, making devices smaller and more powerful, computational lithography tackles the challenges that traditional methods cannot handle. So, why should students dive into the world of computational lithography? First, it is at the core of semiconductor manufacturing, an industry that is not just about gadgets but is foundational to our modern digital world. From powering the latest smartphones to advancing healthcare technology, semiconductors are everywhere, and computational lithography is key to making them better and more efficient. This field is not just for engineers or physicists. It is a multidisciplinary arena where knowledge from different fields converges, making it an exciting learning path for students from various backgrounds. Whether you are into computer science, electrical engineering, or materials science, there is a place for you in computational lithography. And let us talk about career prospects. The demand for skilled professionals in computational lithography is soaring. As we continue to shrink the size of semiconductor devices, the challenges grow, requiring innovative minds to solve them. It means more opportunities in research and development, process engineering, and software development for simulations and optimizations. But it is not just about the technical challenge. It is about making an impact. By advancing computational lithography, you could contribute to breakthroughs in computing power, help develop new technologies for renewable energy, or even advance the frontiers of artificial intelligence. It is your chance to be part of shaping the future. And let us remember the perks. The semiconductor industry offers competitive salaries, career growth, and the chance to work globally. Imagine contributing to a project that does not just change how we use technology but changes how we live our lives. So, if you are intrigued by the challenge of pushing the boundaries of what is possible and drawn to a career that blends innovation with impact, computational lithography might be the field for you. It is not just about making chips smaller, it is about making dreams bigger. And it all starts with the curiosity to learn more. The future is waiting. Are you ready to be a part of it? Dive into computational lithography and discover where your knowledge can take you. Because in a world powered by technology, the creators of that technology hold the keys to the future.